Well, hello there, movie flicker pickers and smooth criminals. This is your captain known as the Western Wonder speaking, and you're listening to the Pic-a-Flic podcast. For this episode, I decided to do something a little different. This episode's theme is focusing on the king of pop himself, Michael Jackson, as his biopic releases this week. The people are excited to see the late legend's nephew, Jafar, take on the role, and as a matter of fact, I hear the critics are even buzzing with glee after seeing the screenings for it.
The lie detector test determined that was a lie.
But that's a whole other review for another time. Sadly, we didn't get to see Mr. Jackson in many movie outings, but when he did, it was guaranteed dynamite. Out of his filmography, I've seen him in The Wiz as the Scarecrow, plus a cameo in Men in Black 2. Apologies for the spoiler if you've never seen that yet. But I've never seen Moonwalker, an anthology film with a series of segments, most of which features music videos from Jackson's latest album at the time, Bad. As I sat down on my couch and pressed play, nothing could quite prepare me for how insane this movie really is. And that's why I'm going to ramble about it to you guys. Let's dive in. The film opens with a live performance of Man in the Mirror, likely from Wembley Stadium, interspersed with footage of exhilarated fans enjoying a top-tier entertainer and various male historical figures who've seen their reflection in the mirror and made a change. And I just made that up myself. I didn't nick that from the lyrics. Starts off normal, right? Right? Following the performance, a trippy series of vignettes and music videos from MJ's illustrious career are shown, from his early years with the Jackson 5 to Thriller. I'm unsure if all of these visuals were part of the concept videos of each respective song, but either way, it's pretty cool to see. And maybe kinda cursed, because why is Kid Michael's clay puppet so purple? But I did like the dancing robot segment because, it's a dancing robot dancing to dancing machine. Then we return to the Bad era. You get to hear all the hits. The Way You Make Me Feel, Dirty Diana, Just Good Friends. Nah, I just made that last mention up only because I like the hooting and hollering on that song's recording session. Now, if you're wondering if any semblance of original film starts to kick in, is when we get to the original title track. The video is being reimagined with kid actors who go above and beyond the choreography and dancing their precious little hearts out. The age difference here, though, is frying me. The Wesley Snipes posse looks like they're 12 years old, while the Michael Jackson section looks about 7 or 8. What I'm trying to say is that this young on younger crime must stop immediately. Now that we have the opening lyric out of the way, I can happily confirm that a certain artist probably clocked out around the 18-minute mark.
Now I said, who gonna sing that to who? Cause you sure ain't singing it to me. And I sure ain't singing it to you. So, right there we got a problem.
And even if he didn't tune out after hearing it, he definitely did for sure 3 minutes later when Kid MJ security tells him that his pet chimp Bubbles was spotted wearing one of the Purple Bandits' shirts. In advance, these are just jokes. I'm a fan of both artists. Now we have a quick cut outside of the studio where a bunch of strange looking clay people are on a bus tour. These designs are not sitting right with me for some reason. Oh my god, the real Michael Jackson is here! And boy, does he look so dashing with his leather. We join his trek across the studio lot with more bizarre clay people, including an irate clay director who changed his colors during his rant about Mike interrupting his film shoot. Now, mind you, we see that the studio is named after MJ, so it seems a bit odd to be upset with the person seemingly keeping the lights on. We do, however, get greeted to a familiar clay figure, Spike the Bunny, who was the co-star in the music video of Speed Demon. Now, not to brag or anything, but Spike and I go back like Cadillac seats. Do you remember the Michael Jackson Experience video game? Good times. Good times. Okay, so 2 more music videos down following this segment and Leave Me Alone, and we're back to more original content. A group of kids, one of whom includes a young Sean Lennon, the son of that one Beatle that's not named Ringo, spot Mike coming home after a long day. A shooting star passes by and Mike smiles as all is well in the night. And then some RoboCop-looking dudes start blasting at this guy. I mean, could you imagine coming home to shooters trying to take you out? Insane. It makes me wonder why they... Oh, okay. Transition time, I reckon. We're then transported to a happier time with Mike and the kids, with some stunning scenery that reminds me a bit of The Sound of Music, with a dash of Little House on the Prairie. Somehow, some way, Mike and Child discover some underground factory, and lo and behold, Joe Pesci is here. He plays a man with a strange ponytail and an evil plan. Funnel drugs to children. Unheal the world. Make it a shitty place. You know, it feels like a much darker and realized Harry from the Home Alone films. Arachnophobia havers beware, for there's tarantula spiders everywhere in this joint. Unfortunately for poor Mike Jack, the little girl accompanying him is deathly afraid, so she screams and gives off their hiding spot. And the chase between Strange Ponytail Man and Hee Hee Man is on. And that is how we got to this point, apparently. However, MJ successfully escapes the wrath of Pesci and company. You know why? He's a smooth criminal, and that's the next music video segment we get. I always liked the old school noir style this video in particular had, and out of context is still wild as hell. What do you mean a sharp dressed man just comes in and starts blasting on machine guns and leaves the patrons in a bit of a trance? Only MJ can get away with this kind of stuff. While all this happens, the Robocop grunts gets the little girl and Michael chases after her. He's once again cornered by Pesci, who really starts kicking and hitting the shit out of Mike and his child. Good lord. And this next part is really when my mind started to fry. After his demands of leaving the kid alone are ignored, with Michael Jackson saying, "Do it and you're dead," Michael Jackson channels his inner Transformer by transforming into Optimus fucking Prime, made out of pure tin man, and starts murking the entire Hee Squadron. I really don't know how we got here, but through all of this, I was hooked. And it made me realize there's another group of individuals that I refer this to outside of the fan base who hasn't seen it. Stoners. There are a lot of pieces of this film that provide some top-tier acid tripping with its visual eye candy and creepy clay people. It makes me wonder how far these elements would have went if there was more time to focus on the story itself, but I guess I will never know. Ponytail Pesci's response to Mecha Jackson is unveiling the Shamoninator. Some Doofenshmirtz kind of gadget, if he actually smarted up with the kinks. But just like that, Doctor, the plan blows up in his face, and somehow I don't think he'd be in another Home Alone if this happened within that universe. Optimus Jackson takes off in his final form, a spaceship, as the kids emotionally wave goodbye to him. And thus ends the tale of the legendary Moonwalker, Michael Joseph Jackson. Or does it? Nah. Mike spins the block one last time and reunites with the kids as they join him at this club where he covers the Beatles as Come Together. Lots of references and parallels between that group and Mike. Some more side talk and nonsense, and yeah, that's it. That's the movie. So, that was a wild ride, and that only describes half of it. I do feel like the first half of this makes for a nice jukebox compilation for all the classics that this talented guy gave the world. He truly has no business being gone. But that second half is peak acid trip madness, and now I'm just sad that a Transformers-inspired MJ-themed project didn't come to any sort of fruition. Hell, I'd watch a whole series of that. I mean, he's charismatic, funny, and has the moves to back up his heroic abilities, or capabilities. With that being said, each half of this film aren't really balancing each other out very well, so my overall rating would have to be split. Now, if we were just going off of visuals and music alone, that would be an easy 5 out of 5 popcorn buckets because, hello, it's Michael Jackson. But with the story itself not taking photos till halfway through, and when it does, it's a little all over the place, it ultimately lands this one a 3 out of 5. But an enthusiastic one, as I had a lot of fun with this. Especially the music video parts. Again, I recommend this solely for the fans, maybe curious folks trying to get more into Michael Jackson particularly, and the stoners. A good time for both parties to be had. And that's a wrap on this episode. Thanks for hearing out my episodic ramblings once again. Next on the pod will either be A, a review for Carmen Jones, or B, a review for the revived Muppet Show that came out earlier this year. Until then, be sure you subscribe to the show on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you want to be in the know about upcoming things, follow the One Man Show on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok under the username handle of Pic-a-Flic Pod. That is at PICAFLICPOD. I'm also on Letterboxd where I log non-audio reviews of films. Follow me there under the aforementioned Pic-a-Flic Pod username handle for more. Once again, Thanks for everyone who tunes into the pod, and until next time, this is the Western Wonder, moonwalking out. Peace and love, everybody.